Painting a tiger in oils. Now the very first thing I like to do is tone that canvas, and I generally do that with an acrylic paint, so in this case it was burnt sienna. Then when that's dry, that's when I start the blocking in process with the alkyd oils. Now I use alkyd oils because they dry much faster than normal oils. They're just the same to use as normal oils, but they've got an alkyd medium already in the tubes, so they dry by the next morning. That means I can do lots of layers very quickly. And here you can see I'm blocking everything in, and notice how that I'm going a little bit darker than you would expect, especially in the highlight area, so those white fur areas. Now I need to do that so that I can then build those highlights on top of the darker underpainting. Because if you don't go dark enough underneath, you can see those lighter layers I'm putting on now, they just would not show up. So always make sure you go a little bit darker. And in oils, just like pastels, we generally work from dark to light, so overlaying those light layers. And you can see I'm starting to do that now. I'm re-establishing the blacks first, then because they go over the top and overlay, that's when I'm putting the whites on top, those lighter layers. And I've got my palette by the side. It's just a glass palette that I've taped to the side of my board just so you guys can see everything a little bit easier. And notice now I'm starting to add layers to the tiger as well, fur texture, because don't forget with fur there's air in between the layers as well as actual hairs as well, so to get that feeling of depth in the fur we need to paint layers as well to create depth in our painting. Now not necessarily in the thickness of the paint, but by putting one layer on top of another. It gives us the feeling that we can actually push our fingers into that fur. Now obviously this video is very fast, it's been really speeded up, and if you wanted a much slower version, I've got a 4.5 hour version of this. Obviously I take everything really slow and explain exactly what I'm doing because I've got that extra time, and that's on my website jasonmorgan.co.uk. So you can see put in even more layers on now, so starting to use finer brushes, rigger brushes now. Up until this stage I've used fairly large brushes, but now I actually want to create those small clumps of fur and hair. So that's when those rigger brushes come in with the long amount of hair on the brush that you can see there, and they come to a really fine point as well. So re-establishing those darks again before I start detailing the eyes, and the eyes are very easy to do. For me, I find they're the easiest part of all, as long as you actually know where those highlights are going to go. When those highlights go in, they really give it that glassy appearance. So now a little bit of glazing of colours. Now glazing, as you'll see in my other videos, is just a thinning of a paint with a medium until it becomes transparent, so kind of like a stained glass window effect. So when you put it on top of perhaps a lighter area, a white area, you can still see all those details, all the brush strokes you put in before. Obviously the layer's got to be dry before you put a glaze on top, but then the glaze just actually tones the colour, so just like as I said, a stained glass window effect. So now I've slowed that video down to normal speed, just so I'm putting in the final details, final bits of whiskers, and add in some of the real darks as well, because I save putting in the very dark black areas and also the very light white highlight areas till the last moment, and that really ups the contrast, makes it look a lot more punchy. On my tutorial website, that's jasonmorgan.co.uk, I've got lots of full-length videos, some up to 8 or 9 hours long. I've got ebooks on there as well. If you're looking for reference photos, because sometimes it's really hard to get very good, decent, copyright-free reference photos you can paint and draw from, my website www.wildlifeart-online.com has got about 900 or more photographs on there. Or perhaps you'd like to join my art community, where every month I put up new videos, new reference photos, new wildlife line art. So that's patreon.com/wildlifeart. Love to see you on one of those soon, or even here on my YouTube channel.